McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scott Seidenberg back here with you. It is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, as we are preparing for the tip-off of the Knicks and Pacers game number 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Right now we're seeing a total of 224. Let's go look across the board and see if there's been any late money coming in, any flashes on the screen. Circa down to 223.5. DraftKings at 224. We have one book in town's at 224.5. But for the most part, I'm seeing 223.5s here for the total. And the Pacers -1 here at Circa, -1.5 at other books. So a strong stance here by Circa, shaded towards the Knicks. And when you consider that it's 1.5 across the board, and Circa's got Pacers -1, could be, listen, we respect Circa, sharpest book certainly in town here. So to see them have it at 1 as opposed to 1.5, definitely interesting to see that market. From a prop perspective, I'm curious how the Josh Hart, I don't want to call it benching, but how does that affect the way that the Knicks come out here and play in this game? Do we like more, more stats here for Mitchell Robinson being in the starting lineup as opposed to Josh Hart? Certainly, this is a move made for defensive purposes. The Knicks' defensive rating has just been terrible. Especially when it's both Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson on the floor. I would have thought that, hey, with Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup, then maybe they, I could see Josh Hart coming in for Towns, and they do it that way just to get, Cat and Brunson not on the floor together because of how poor the defense has been. But the Knicks clearly trying to add size. And if you just look at what Mitchell Robinson's done here in this series, he had 9 rebounds in game number 2. He had 8 rebounds in game number 1. And seeing him now in the starting lineup, so maybe getting a couple of more minutes here, we're looking at him now sitting at, it's got to be inflated, I would believe. Yeah, 9.5. So over 9.5. I don't hate it. I don't hate Mitchell Robinson getting over 9.5 rebounds. And for Josh Hart, who's been a guy that has been, his prop had been, 9.5s, because he's been the guy who's been getting a lot of rebounds for the New York Knicks. Because he is not in the starting lineup, his number is now down to 7.5. He had 6 only in game number 2, 13 in game number 1. He had 11 in game 6 against the Celtics. Now, this is interesting. While I do think that the under I understand playing the under because he's not starting. I don't think that Josh Hart not starting means that Josh Hart doesn't play a full complement of minutes. And if anything, I think this might light a fire under Josh Hart. So I got to be honest. Seeing a guy that maybe struggled in the last game, what was he? He was only 2 of 3 from the field, Josh Hart, in the last game. But he only took 3 shots. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. He was 3 of 6 from the field in game number 1 with 13 rebounds and 7 assists. I got to be honest, when Josh Hart gets into this game, I think Josh Hart has a big-time effort. I would actually go over Josh Hart's numbers here. Here's what I'm going to look at. I want to go over Josh Hart 7.5 rebounds, and I want to go over Josh Hart to have a 1/2 or over a half a three-pointer. I think that's the bet I want to place here. Because I think when he does get into the game, he's got to have a big effort. So I'm going to be looking at that. I'm going to look at Josh Hart over 7.5 rebounds and over a half of a three-pointer made. Because I think that he has to. The Knicks need contribution, of course, from everybody if they're going to win this game. But I like it. I think that's what we're going to get here. His total's at 8.5 points, too. I kind of want to play it. I kind of want to play it over. Thinking that we might get a Josh Hart coming off the bench, little bit of energy, little bit of spark here. Let's go ahead and put that in. We're going to go Josh Hart over 7.5 rebounds and over 8.5 points. I'm going to play that. I think that the market is adjusting too much right now because he's not in the starting lineup. And I understand it. He's not going to play the 44 minutes that he played in game number 1. He's still going to play 30 minutes in this game. Because this is the thing. Mitchell Robinson's in the starting lineup. But Mitchell Robinson is also a liability if the Pacers, at the end of a quarter, want to start doing the hack-a-Mitch. We know that he's a liability from the free throw line. And so it's not going to be early on. It's not going to be over the course of a full game. But it could be at the end of the quarters. So it wouldn't surprise me because obviously if it's like however many fouls they have in the final 2 minutes or whatever it is, like if they have fouls to give at the end of a quarter, or they just want to put them on the free throw line at the end of a quarter to limit the possessions, I can see Tibbs, playing Mitch to start and then taking him out towards the end of the quarters. And I think Josh Hart's going to get plenty of time. Plus, with Mitchell Robinson bodying down low, with Mitchell Robinson going for these rebounds, you run the risk of him getting into foul trouble, which could then lead to Josh Hart playing more minutes. So I think that, okay, it's going to be interesting. But let's go with the Josh Hart overs here. Taking advantage of the market kind of lowering itself based on the fact that he's not starting. But I would expect him to play at least 25 minutes in this game tonight. If not, maybe his full complement of minutes. If not his full complement of minutes, where he could play 30 minutes. Just because he's not starting doesn't mean that he won't play more minutes in this game. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Hit me up on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnair. We are underway. Jalen Brunson hits the first shot of the game. Knicks with a 2-0 lead here over the Pacers. Your closing markets here at Circa. The Pacers closed at -1.5, so they, adjusted to go with the way the rest of the market was, and the total closed at 223.5. So we're going to monitor all the live lines, all the movements, but where we closed, Pacers -1.5, and total of 223.5. The bets that we already have that we're sweating in this game, we did take a little bit on these Hart overs, but we played the Knicks first quarter, we played the Knicks first half, we played the Knicks for the full game. And the plus 285, it was available on DraftKings. Other books had different juices, but played the Knicks wire to wire. So wire to wire means they have to have a lead after every quarter. And I think that if it's going to happen tonight for the Knicks, that's the way it's going to happen. Because if it doesn't happen that way for the Knicks, I don't think it does happen at all. I think the Pacers win tonight. So if the Knicks don't come out here and win this first quarter and then win the first half, I don't see them winning the game. Even though, listen, we've seen the Knicks take these big leads and blow these big leads late in games, especially in this, Pacers series for sure. But right now we are off to a little bit of a slow pace as some missed shots here. Your total is down to 218.5 as we are about 2 and change into the first quarter. and it is a 2-2 game between the Knicks and the Pacers. Meanwhile, the Mets have expanded their lead over the Dodgers here, as we're looking good for our Mets' first 5-inning bet. I believe that was Juan Soto who got an RBI, and then he actually wound up stealing second base here. Let me look and see exactly what happened on the play-by-play. But the Mets lead right now 3-1 over the Dodgers, as they're in the bottom of the third inning there at Citi Field. So it was Soto grounding into a fielder's choice that scored Francisco Lindor. That actually could have been a double play. So Lindor singled to lead off the bottom of the third. Mark Vientos then reached on an infield single and a throwing error. And then it was a ground ball, double play ground ball, if you will, from Juan Soto that wound up being Soto safe at first, so it was just a fielder's choice. And so Soto then steals second. Pete Alonso flies out. Jeff McNeil is up with a runner on second. Mets have a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers in the bottom of the third inning. Your live line right now is Mets minus 360. On the run line, they're minus 2.5. Your live total is at 9.5. And so far, so good for Kodai Senga, who started this game, second pitch of the ball game, giving up a solo home run to Shohei Ohtani. The first home run that Kodai Senga had allowed in his last 49 innings pitched. That's how good this guy has been for the Mets this year. He went 49 he allowed in his first start of the season, in the bottom of the first inning in Miami against the Marlins, his first start of the season on April 1st, Kodai Senga allowed a home run. He then goes the next 4 innings without allowing, one more earned run. And so that was the only home run he allowed. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive starts without allowing a home run, and then allows on the second pitch of the ball game Shohei Ohtani to take him deep. But he has settled down since that moment, and Kodai Senga now through 3 innings only allows 2 hits, and both of those came in that first inning. The Freddie Freeman double and the Ohtani home run. He has struck out 4 and walked 0. So 2 more strikeouts, he'll hit his over 5.5. He is at 55 pitches through 3 innings, so he's on a good pace right now. Smarter bets start with VSiN Pro, and now is the time to join. Through May 31st, lock in 14 months for just $199, 2 extra months for free when you use promo code PRO at checkout. That's less than 50 cents a day for the daily email with the best bets, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 live video access on the VSiN Watch app, and full access to VSiN.com's analytics, trends, and reports. Plus, get the 2025-2026 NFL betting guide when it comes out this summer. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live, you're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you could find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite? Realtor.com's got 'em. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back? Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, 'cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros' #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A good under pace here right now between the Knicks and the Pacers as there's 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Knicks have an 11-6 lead over Indy. Your live total is at 217.5. And on Twitter, Charles in Connecticut tweeted at me that he played the under 57.5 in the first quarter with Mitchell Robinson starting, figuring the Knicks would come out with a big defensive effort. I like that a lot. I've been really, on the whole first quarter trends. I played the Knicks in the first quarter, but I like that, the under in the first quarter as well, because, with Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup, it was going to be a more concerted effort on defense from the Knicks, and we're seeing it so far here, looking good. Good minutes from OG Anunoby, good minutes really from everybody so far through the first couple of minutes here, first 5 minutes of the first quarter. As looking at the box score right now for the Knicks, 2 points from 4 points from Mitchell Robinson. He is 2 of 2. Mikal Bridges has 2 points. He's 1 of 4. He has missed 2 3-pointers. OG Anunoby made his only 3-point attempt, and Jalen Brunson's got 2 points. He missed a 3-pointer. So no one off the bench yet for the New York Knicks. No one off the bench yet for the Pacers. Pacers, 2 points from Halliburton, 2 points from Nembhard, and 2 points from Pascal Siakam. Nesmith, Turner, Nembhard, and Halliburton have all missed threes so far. So the Pacers are 0 of 4 from three-point range. The Knicks 1 of 4 through the first 5 minutes of this game. 11-6, the Knicks lead right now as we are coming out of a timeout. Meanwhile, top of the fourth inning, and Freddie Freeman has singled, I believe, off of Kodai Senga. So Will Smith is up right now. Freeman 2 for 2 against Senga right now. He had that double in the first inning after Ohtani homered, and then he was able to just single now, but the Mets have turned a double play to get out of that jam. So 3-1, the Mets lead the Dodgers, and I'm just looking at some StatCast data because every time I looked up when the Mets were batting against Landon Knack, and this is something that you might want to look at. Now, is there a live bet to be made? I'm not so sure. The Mets minus 2.5. It's a total of 8.5. I don't know if there's a live bet to be made here, but, looking at the way that the Mets have hit Landon Knack, they only have 3 runs to show for it. And 2 of them came on the Pete Alonso home run, which was, much like Shohei Ohtani, a no-doubter home run. Would have been a home run in all 30 ballparks, right? But look at these exit velos from the Mets. Juan Soto, who got on with an error prior to the Alonso home run, right? 99.4 miles per hour. You got Jeff McNeil flew out 98.4. Jared Young flew out 401 feet away on a 107.1 mile an hour shot with an expected batting average of 900, and he flew out. Brett Beatty flew out on a 102.3 mile per hour fly out, 356 away, an expected batting average of 620. And then in the next inning, Lindor singles 100.6, Vientos singles 108.2, Pete Alonso flies out on a 90 plus. I mean, the exit velos here off of Landon Knack are unbelievable. And I don't know if he's long for this game. Let's take a look at his pitch count right now. As I guess that was a double for Betts. No, double for Will Smith. So there's a runner on second here. Looking at the box score, Landon Knack's at 59 pitches here through 3 innings. If he gets through the bottom of the fourth, we're talking about 70-something pitches. Maybe he pitches 5 innings. We'll see, but this is a lot of hard contact, a lot of barrels here for the Mets against Landon Knack. I would be very concerned if I was the Dodgers. And if I'm watching this, if I'm the pitching coach here, if, was it Andrew Bailey, I believe, is their pitching coach? I'd be looking at this and I'd be sitting, I'd be thinking, Bailey's the Red Sox pitching coach. I'd be sitting here going, you know what? We got to get the bullpen up and running because this guy's getting hit hard. And again, hasn't really shown on the scoreboard. It's only been the Alonso home run. But these are things you got to look at, especially if you're trying to figure out a live bet. Now, for me, with a live bet, what am I looking at? Well, let's see who's getting up in the next inning for the Mets. So in the bottom of the third inning, McNeil struck out to end the inning. So the heart of the lineup is through. So it's going to be Torrens, Young, and Taylor leading off of the Mets in the bottom of the fourth inning. Do I want to bet the Mets to score in the bottom of the fourth? Probably. I mean, I maybe I would, just to look at, maybe some plus money value if you get something like that. But none of those guys have a hit yet. The only hits the Mets have are from Lindor, Vientos, and Alonso. The Mets have only 3 hits, and one of them is that 2-run home run. But I'd be concerned, and I think that I don't know if they're going to let Knack face the top of the lineup once again. If he does, boy, it wouldn't shock me if more runs are scored in maybe the bottom of the 5th inning, or if the Mets have a long inning here in the bottom of the 4th. Because once he gets back to the top of the lineup in Lindor, Vientos, Soto, and Alonso, there's going to be runs scored because they have hit this guy hard tonight. I'm Scott Seidenberg, always on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnair. We got about 4:51 to go in the first quarter. Knicks leading the Pacers 15-10 as we have a live number right now of Knicks minus 2.5 and a live total of 214.5. So we are trending towards the under. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this game closed with the Pacers minus 1.5 and a total of 223.5. So this is a strong under pace right now at 214.5. And just looking at the team stats here, Pacers have not made a three-pointer, 0 of 6 from three-point range to start this game. And the Knicks, not much better, just 1 of 4 from three-point range. But the Pacers starting 0 of 6, it kind of leads to, now, the reason why I played the Knicks in the first quarter, the reason why I like the Knicks in this game is because this is like the desperation spot of all desperation spots here. If the Knicks don't win this game, the series is over. So every effort, this has to be the max effort of max efforts here for the New York Knicks. And you combine that with maybe, just maybe I don't want to call it a letdown, but a relaxed effort from the Pacers. Because the Pacers are playing with house money here. Pacers won the first 2 games on the road. This is all house money for the Pacers. They can lose this game and still win this series a large percentage of the time. So if it gets to a point like we saw last night with the Oklahoma City Thunder, where the game gets away from them, is this Pacers team, and we saw it early on in this playoffs, right, when they lost that game to the Cavaliers, is this Pacers team going to have that big comeback like they did in Game 1 and even in Game 2, essentially? Because the Knicks did have a 7-point lead in Game 2 at one point. Back-to-back threes for the Pacers now. They have a 16-15 lead over the Knicks. So Miles Turner made a three-pointer. Ben Shepherd has just made a 3. So 16-15. Pacers lead the Knicks. And just like that, in 30 seconds, 2 3-pointers for the Pacers. That's their quick strike ability. And they were down 15-10. Now they're up 16-15, just like that, in 2 possessions. So that's how quickly things change. And right now your total is up to 216.5, and the Pacers are now minus 1.5, which is what it was prior to this game starting. But I wanted to looking at like the Pacers in general. When they won the first 2 games in Cleveland, in Game 3 they were tied at the end of the first quarter, 32-32. But in that game, Cleveland jumped out to a 25-10 lead in that first quarter. And then Indy erased a 15-point deficit, tied the game at the end of the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, the Cavs steamrolled them 34-13. We also saw the Knicks play with house money in Game 3 after they took the first 2 games against the Celtics. They got blown out in the first quarter, 36-20. They got blown out in the second quarter, 35-26. So yes, we're close right now. We got 4 minutes left in this first quarter. Those were 2 big back-to-back threes made by the Pacers. But let's just say this game gets to a point where the Pacers are down 15. Do they have that same comeback ability that they've shown here in these playoffs when you consider they're playing with house money? I'm not so sure you're going to get that max effort for a comeback in this game, knowing they got Game 4 at home. You win that, you take a 3-1 series lead, you're not losing the series. It'll be interesting to see. Well, we got 4 minutes left, and Pretty much our best bet relying here on these next 4 minutes. 16-15, the Pacers leading the Knicks. We have Knicks in the first quarter. Hey, start your day with an edge and a game plan. The VSiN Daily Morning Bets podcast is your first look at the day's betting lines, sharp action, and market movement. In just 15 minutes, you're going to get everything you need to make smarter wagers and stay ahead of the line moves all before your morning coffee's gone. Hosted by VSiN's team of trusted betting experts, the Daily Morning Bets podcast is fast, focused, and built for bettors like you. Listen to the VSiN Daily Morning Bets podcast wherever you get your podcast or on the VSiN Watch app. The sharpest way to start your betting day is the VSiN Daily Morning Bets podcast. Our very own Greg Peterson will join me next. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday, sweating it out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Knicks and Pacers tied at 20, under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. As leading the way for the New York Knicks is Jalen Brunson with 8 points. He has made 1 3-pointer. He is a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He's got 9 points as he just sank another free throw. Leading the way for the Pacers with 5 points is Miles Turner, thanks to a 3-pointer that was made. Those back-to-back threes by Shepherd and Turner, the first 2 threes made by the Pacers here in this game. Meanwhile, a near collision, or they're showing, nope, is that now or that was a replay? That was a replay, I think, of something going on in the Mets game. I guess that was a replay of that bizarre sac fly that was called interference yesterday. I thought that was live right now in the Mets game against the Dodgers. Mets with a 3-1 lead over L.A. in the top of the 5th inning. And joining us now on the Progressive Guest Line is our very own Greg Peterson, host of the Baseball Betting Show and cashing out here on VSiN. Greg, when you looked at this Mets game against the Dodgers, Kodai Senga hadn't allowed a home run in 49 consecutive innings until Shohei Ohtani took him deep on the second pitch of the ball game. That being said, he has settled in nicely. The Mets having a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. What was your take on this game, and what do you like live right now?
Absolutely. I took a shot on the Mets money line, and I took a shot on the under. Still feeling pretty good about both of these. Right now, with regards to the total, I was seeing it just before we came on air, right back at that 8.5. And I do think that Kodai Senga settling in relatively well. Pitch count is a little bit high, but I feel good about this Mets bullpen. They've been a top 6 unit in terms of ERA. And Landon Knack honestly hasn't been too bad this far. He does give up that home run to Pete Alonso in the first, but he's been able to settle in a little bit more as well. So I'm still liking the under here, as I do think that with regards to the weather out there in New York, just not really conducive for run scoring right now. It just feels like the Dodgers have been in a little bit of a funk with regards to run scoring the last few days.
Yeah, I like the under. I played that as well. And, you mentioned Landon Knack. There's been a lot of hard contact here for the Mets, and I imagine that this is his final inning. We don't see him again, facing the top of the lineup here, but a lot of hard contact. It wasn't just the Alonso home run, a lot of deep flyouts for the Mets here against Landon Knack, and you could say that maybe they've gotten a little unlucky to be only here with 3 runs, but I can't imagine that Knack goes deeper into this game. He's at 70 pitches already, Greg.
Yeah, he probably maybe goes one more inning, but they've got quite a few long relievers like Ben Casparis, Jack Dreyer, guys like that, and I would expect them to go to him probably in the 6th, 7th inning.
All right, so we're going to keep an eye on what's going on here. The Mets and the Dodgers in the top of the 5th inning. Ohtani is up right now. I'm sweating out. I got Mets first 5 as well, so we would like to get out of this here 5th inning. Tomorrow, Greg, it's Memorial Day, and we have day baseball. And to me, I honestly, it's one of those days where, like the 4th of July, like there's no night games. Just give me all day games. I don't know why we have games tomorrow night. Every game should be played during the day here on Memorial Day. But we do have a ton of day games. Where's the first place that you looked at when you saw the schedule being released for tomorrow's games?
I look at the Baltimore Orioles and the St. Louis Cardinals game, and yay verily to the fact that the Baltimore Orioles have been able to win a pair of games here this weekend. But the fact that they're a pick-em here against the St. Louis Cardinals, it makes no sense. The Orioles are winning about 34% of their games this year. They have Charlie Morton, who has north of a 7.5 ERA. The Orioles have literally lost every single game he has pitched in this year. 0-7 for Charlie Morton, giving up north of 2 home runs per 9 innings. And here he is a pick-em against Eric Fedde, who's been better on the road this year. A St. Louis Cardinals team that has been pretty rock solid with regards to offense. Bullpen advantage goes to the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't understand where we're getting a pick-up line on this one. I took a shot on the Cardinals on the money line.
Yeah, Cardinals are interesting because we know how good they are at home, but just 11-15 on the road. So a team that certainly I like playing much better at home than I do on the road. But you're right, it would be a fade of the Orioles for me here in this one. Now, we don't have a Sunday night fade option. Well, I guess we do because the Dodgers are going to Cleveland. But the Mets are home, though. So I don't count that because they're not traveling. So the Mets are home. But the Dodgers in Cleveland, Yamamoto's on the mound for the Dodgers. Do we dare look at a Sunday night fade of the Dodgers traveling to Cleveland?
I'm seeing plus 155 on the Guardians. Sign me up. Gavin Williams, I think he's going to be able to round into form. He's been able to give you north of 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. And I think Yamamoto pitches well, which is why with regards to this 8, I like the under. Yamamoto has been able to give you a sub-2 ERA this year, not allowing a lot of hard contact. But this has been a Dodgers bullpen that has been a little bit suspect this year. And I mentioned it. It feels like the Dodgers offense has been a little bit hit or miss on the road this season as well. Sometimes they go into a few lulls and some ruts. You've had Max Muncy, Michael Conforto not necessarily be themselves this season. And for the Cleveland Guardians, this bullpen has been down this year. There's no fans or buts about it. And Hunter Gaddis, I believe, is on the bereavement list at the moment. He's really the best reliever this season. But I do think that Gavin Williams lends a relatively good start. Being able to get a plus 155 after the Guardians, well, they scored no runs on Sunday against Rick Skubal. Think that they get a bounce back here. I like that money line.
And the Dodgers are the only team we have to keep in mind that has ruined our Sunday night fade this year. We didn't play it, though. That was when they went to Miami and won a game after traveling from a Sunday night game. So the only team that has won this year traveling after the Sunday night game has been the Dodgers. Dodgers are in Cleveland to take on the Guardians tomorrow night. Elsewhere tomorrow, we got the Rockies traveling to Chicago to take on the Cubs. You know it's a heavily juiced price here with the Cubs, but the run line is something that we've been attacking. We know that the Rockies don't cover the minus 1.5, despite the fact that they covered minus 1.5 here against the Yankees, hitting a home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, Greg. Are we going back to the well and taking Cubs, even though they're home, and we don't like doing it with the home teams, but it is the Rockies. Do we like Chicago minus 1.5?
Well, right now I'm seeing that initial opener right around about minus 150, and typically you'd think, wow, to lay a run and a half, you have to go with a minus 150. There's no way you could do that. Except this Rockies team is just that terrible. And you've got Mr. Bumquist on the bump for the Colorado Rockies. He's made 2 starts. In 8+ innings, he has 2 strikeouts and an ERA above 11. This guy belongs nowhere near a big league mound right now. I feel like you could say that about any Colorado Rockies starter not named Kyle Freeland, and you'd be very accurate there. James Italian has given up his hard contact. He's given up 14 home runs this season, but who on Colorado is hitting the ball of the yard on the road aside from Hunter Goodman? You've really got nobody. The Colorado Rockies are averaging about 2.6 runs per game away from home. Dead stinking last. Wind is most likely going to be blowing in a little bit in this one as well. So if I'm seeing that opener of like an 8.5, which I'm seeing at one book right now, I'd be taking a shot on the under, but I just don't see the Rockies scoring more than 2 runs in this game. So I'd be willing to lay that run line.
The Pacers finished the first quarter on a little bit of a run here as they lead 30-26 over the Knicks. So our Knicks first quarter bet dies as the Pacers go on about a 4-0 run here at the end of, or was it 6-0? 6-0 run maybe? At the end of the first quarter. Your live markets right now have the Pacers minus 3.5 and the live total with this flurry of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Your live total, which the game closed at 223.5, it went down to 212.5. Now it is back up to 222.5 live total Knicks and Pacers. We're joined by our very own Greg Peterson on the Progressive Guest Line. You can hear and watch Greg across a variety of shows here on VSiN and listen to the Baseball Betting Show wherever you get your podcasts and on the VSiN Watch app as well. Taking a look at this Memorial Day schedule, Garrett Crochet is on the bump for the Red Sox, Greg, in Milwaukee against the Brewers and Chad Patrick. Now the Red Sox, their offense really struggled in this series against the Orioles. Yeah, you had a doubleheader and the second game of the double. I mean, well, look, we know they had the 13-run explosion in 1 inning, but since that mark, I mean, the last 2 games they've combined for just 2 runs here against Baltimore. Can we bank on some run support here for Garrett Crochet on the road?
I think that there's going to be a little bit more. I'm seeing that total at 7.5. I'm going to be willing to take a shot on the over, but Also, keep in mind the Red Sox bullpen has thrown a lot of innings as well. So I think that that's going to lead to a little bit of production for the Brewers, who haven't necessarily gotten a lot of home run power. Christian Yelich has 9 home runs, but is really not hitting for a ton of average. But I would be looking at the Brewers being able to get like a plus 135, plus 140 on the money line. Personally, I'm seeing a few plus 140s out there for the Brewers. I do think that they find a way to be able to get a little bit to Garrett Crochet, who's been very, very good this year. But again, that bullpen leaving a little bit of something to be desired. And for the Brewers, they just do a nice job of having these guys like Sal Frelick and company find a way to be able to get on base. So with the Red Sox being this heavy a favorite, going to be willing to take that plus money on the Brewers and the over.
Yeah, a little plus, good plus money chase there going with the Brew Crew, and a really lackadaisical offense, especially missing Alex Bregman there for Boston. Greg, great stuff as always. We'll be listening, and we'll be...
What's the difference between DIY and doing it yourself? It's the difference between a part-time passion and a full-time business. Wix gives you the power to turn your passion into a moneymaker. With a website that fits your unique vision, let your ideas flow with AI that guides you, but keeps you in the driver's seat. Manage your business from one dashboard and keep it growing with built-in marketing features. It's time to turn your daydream into your dream job. Go to Wix.com.
Welcome to Birch Lane, where you can find a fresh take on classic furniture and decor. Every piece is handpicked and crafted to last for years to come. At Birch Lane, you can explore everything from outdoor sets to living room furniture and everything in between, and get fast, free shipping. It's classic style for joyful living. Shop now at birchlane.com.
Watching.
Always appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
There he is, our very own Greg Peterson. Catch him across a variety of shows, including Cashing Out here on VSiN. Make sure you check out the baseball betting show wherever you get your pods from. As we wait for the second quarter to begin in Indy, the NBA playoffs heating up, and our partner at ProfitX offering the best odds all playoffs long. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer exchange available in 40-plus states, so you're going to be able to make your sports picks against other groups of fans rather than against sports books and exchanges. They guarantee the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download ProfitX today with code VSiN and earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. We have cashed the Mets' first 5 as the Dodgers strand the bases loaded. 3-1 Mets going to the bottom of the 5th at Citi Field, and the Pacers a 30-26 lead over the Knicks. Second quarter about to begin. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN. Scott Seidenberg back here with you. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Tom Thibodeau is digging deep into his bench as DeLon Wright is in the game. He's played 5 minutes or so. The last time we saw DeLon Wright play, it was in Game 3 of the series against Boston. He played 3 minutes, didn't attempt a shot in that game. But this is a guy that on the season has played a total of, he averages 16 minutes in 14 games that he has played this year for the Knicks. So he's played in 14 games this year for the Knicks. We saw him late in the year get a bunch of playing time. 35 minutes against Portland, 30 minutes against Milwaukee. These were like 33 minutes late in the year, like April 1st, April 2nd. These were meaningless games at the end of the year where the Knicks were going into their bench. And yeah, I mean, this isn't even a role player. This is just like an end of the bench type of guy. But hey, Tibbs is looking for something right now as the Knicks trail 38-30 here with 9 minutes to go in the first half. As for the Knicks, Jalen Brunson has 11 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from three-point range. Mitchell Robinson's got 6 points in his 11 minutes of action. Karl-Anthony Towns has 4 points. He has missed both of the three-point attempts that he has taken. Mikal Bridges has 4 points. He is also 0 of 2 from three-point range. And OG Anunoby hitting 1 three-pointer has 3 points. Josh Hart has 2 points on 2 free throws, and he is 0 of 2 from three-point range. He has 1 assist. Your rebound leader is Karl-Anthony Towns with 6 for the Knicks. Meanwhile, for the Pacers, they are led 10 points off the bench by T.J. McConnell, who is 4 of 6 from the floor. He has not made a three-pointer, but 4 of 6 from the floor, as he has 10 points to lead the way for the Pacers. Let's see. Miles Turner's got 7 points. He made 1 three-pointer. Tyrese Halliburton's got just 4 points and 2 assists. Andrew Nembhard's got 6 points. Pascal Siakam's got 4. Aaron Nesmith, 0 of 2 from three-point range, does not have a point just yet. Obi Toppin's got 2 points. Tony Bradley's got 2. And Ben Shepherd, who made that 1 3-pointer earlier in the first quarter, has just those 3 points. Both the Knicks and Pacers can't hit from 3. 2 of 11 for the Knicks, 2 of 9 for the Pacers, as we have a 38-30 game. Your live market right now, total still where it was before the game started pretty much. We're at 222.5, but the Pacers now are minus 4.5 for the game, as it's a tough shooting night for both of these teams. The Pacers doing much better just inside the paint. Like, the Pacers right now are shooting 50% from the field. 14 points in the paint is the same for both teams, but it's been the mid-range jumpers that have been falling for the Pacers. That's why 50% from the field, as opposed to the Knicks, who are shooting 35%, and both teams struggling from three-point range. Both teams 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Rebounds, 16 for the Pacers, 12 for the Knicks. Turnovers, 2 for the Knicks and 1, or 2 for the Pacers and 1 for the Knicks. So a pretty even game for the most part. But through the first couple of minutes here of the second quarter, it's still a struggle for both of these teams to sink the deep shots. But still the total right now, 222.5, Pacers minus 4.5 on your live line. And curious to see what Tibbs does for the Knicks with this rotation. Like, does he continue to play guys like DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet? Like, this is strange to see, these guys in the game, as opposed to, guys like Cameron Payne, who has played a lot of minutes and did have that flurry. Remember in that Detroit series, he had that big run. You could have gone to a guy like him, could maybe throw in Precious Achiuwa, get some size there on the floor. But we'll see. Curious rotations, curious decisions from Tibbs, as the Knicks are looking for anything, down 2-0 in this series against the Pacers. Keeping an eye on what's going on in Sunday Night Baseball, as the Mets holding on to a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. They are in the top of the 6th inning. Kodai Senga is still in the game. So is Landon Knack. Knack finishes. That was a quick 5th inning. So Knack probably comes out here for the 6th, because he got out of that 5th inning very, very quickly. So Landon Knack is at 78 pitches through 5 innings, allowing just 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts. The 1 earned run came on, because there was an error prior to Pete Alonso's 2-run home run. The 1 home run allowed, that's the difference in the game. 3-1, the Mets lead. Meanwhile, Kodai Senga, this will be his last inning of work. He is at 97 pitches through 5 1/3. He has allowed 1 run on the Shohei Ohtani leadoff home run. And that's it. 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. So if you bet the over 5.5 strikeouts, you're sweating it right now, because he needs 1 more strikeout to go over that prop. And he's only got 2 batters left, if that. He's at, like I said, 98 pitches. Well, he was at 97 pitches. Max Muncy is up for the Dodgers. After Muncy, it's Andy Pages, who's a righty. So you're going to keep him in the game, unless he walks somebody here. I got to be honest, I do not think that Kodai Senga faces Michael Conforto, who's a lefty coming up in 2 batters. So you got Max Muncy up now, you got Pages on deck, and then the lefty in Conforto. At 100 pitches already, Senga's not going to face Conforto. If he gets Muncy out here, I see them letting him face Pages. But he walks Max Muncy, and let's see what the Mets decide to do here with Kodai Senga. It looks like this is a mound visit. I don't know if he's coming out or if it's just a conversation. We haven't had a signal to the bullpen just yet. But if they do signal to the bullpen, and they do, it looks like Ryan Stanek might come in. So Senga's night is done. Under 5.5 strikeouts, comes home. Barely. Woo, if you had that bet, what a sweat that was, as Senga had 4 strikeouts early in this game. And I believe he had 4, he might have had 4 in the 3rd inning. So in the top of the 5th, He had 0 strikeouts in the top of the 5th, 1 strikeout here in the top of the 6th. So he had 4 strikeouts in the top of the 4th. None. Wow, my goodness. Kodai Senga had 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. You needed 2 strikeouts in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and he only got you 1. And he comes out of the game with 1 out here in the 6th inning. So Senga finishes with 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. Not a great control there, but lowers his ERA to 1.46. The runner on first is his responsibility. It is Max Muncy on first base, and Ryan Stanek will come in for the Mets, looking to get out of this inning. Mets lead 3-1 over the Dodgers. Taking a look at the live market right now for this game, the Mets still a massive favorite on the money line. On the run line, though, minus a run and a half is minus 125. Your live total is at 7.5. And once again, Mets leading 3-1 with 1 out, runner on first, top of the 6th inning. So if you're thinking about the Mets on the run line, or you're thinking about the total here, with the Mets having the lead, you know they're not going to get the 9th inning at bat. So the Mets will have bottom 6, bottom 7, and bottom 8. So that's just 3 more innings for the New York Mets to score runs. Dodgers still have this 6th inning to go, and then 7, 8, 9. But we'll see if Stanek can get out of this for the New York Mets, as he's on now to face Andy Pages for the Dodgers. So congratulations if you did cash that Kodai Senga under 5.5 strikeouts. We have a timeout on the floor in Indianapolis as the Pacers out to a 42-35 lead over the Knicks. 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Your live number right now is still Pacers minus 4.5, with your live total down to 220.5. Curious to see what this second half number is going to be. This has been a low-scoring first half, and I'm not sure how the rest of these 7 minutes plays out, but if you do look at the shooting, the Knicks did make another three-pointer, but still 3 of 13 from three-point range. Pacers 2 of 9 from three-point range. I would imagine that the three-point shooting does pick up as they progress throughout this game. So I can see a higher scoring second half if the threes start to fall. But that's a big if. Right now, Knicks trailing by 7. Pacers looking to take a 3-0 series lead. I want to tell you guys about Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code LIVE. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. I'm Scott Seidenberg, always on Twitter at Scott's On Air. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Running a business can be exhausting. Building your website shouldn't be. With Wix, you can express your ideas, give direction, then leave the heavy lifting to AI. From site creation to branded content and images. Have fun with the details. Customize what you want the way you want, and manage your whole business from a centralized dashboard with expert AI tools. Build, scale, and enjoy the incredible results. You can do it all yourself on Wix.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, Passport, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 2026 Passport, or 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.